deadline, the San Diego Padres. Now this video might go up a little after the trade deadline because my YouTube channel got shut down. So I'm recording this before I have the new YouTube channel, and hopefully it is able to go up before the end of tomorrow or today, because yesterday was the trade deadline. So the Padres, this trade deadline, got Josh Hader, Juan Soto, Josh Bell, and Brandon Drury. Juan Soto has 2 more years after this of control of this from the Padres. Hader is going to be gone after this year, and Josh Bell is going to be gone after this year, and Brandon Drury, I think, might have a few more years after this year, but I don't know. But Juan Soto in between Tatis and Manny Machado will be the most interesting combination in baseball, like right now. It might be the best trio in baseball right now. Now, the Josh Hader is a huge pickup, but what didn't make sense is the Brewers. Why, when you were in the middle, when you are in first place in your division, and you have a chance to win the World Series this year, you give away your closer to the San Diego Padres? Like, why would you give up your closer? The best person they got out of that was either minor league players, which who cares? This is right now. Your chance to win is right now. Nobody cares about the minor league players. Yeah, you might be good then, but this is your chance with Josh Hader. And then they got Dinelson Lamet, who, if they use him as a starting pitcher, you already have good starting pitchers. It's not like you don't have good starting pitchers. So that move makes absolutely no sense by the Milwaukee Brewers. None at all. Then, I think the team that had the second best trade deadline, this is a pretty hot take, but the Washington Nationals. Now, yes, they did give up Juan Soto and Josh Bell, but they got 4 people who were first-round picks. Mackenzie Gore, James Wood, I think his name is. And wait, who was the other guy? C.J. Abrams, and then one more, who I forget the names. And then, on top of that, they have Josiah Gray in the minors and Keibert Ruiz as their backstop. Their team is going to be very good in years to come. Now, I think when they got Luke Voit as well in that trade from the San Diego Padres, I think they should have immediately traded him back for another good prospect, because Luke Voit is not going to help your team now, and he's probably going to be gone before he can help your team in years to come. Now, I also think they should have traded Strasburg and Patrick Corbin to maybe a team like the Milwaukee Brewers to get like a good prospect, or another team to get more good prospects. Now, the Mets got Darren Ruff and Daniel Vogelbach and Tyler Naquin. Now, Darren Ruff did not make much sense, because I think he might be, because JD Martinez, I don't know if he still does, but at least earlier in the season, I think he might still have it though. He had the highest, hard hit ball rate on the Mets. And they still kept Dominic Smith, which makes no sense whatsoever. It's either you're going to have Vogelbach and Ruff platooning at the DH, what's Smith doing there? And they should have, in my opinion, made a move for Juan Soto. Now, of course, you could argue that they had the best trade deadline, not because of who they traded for, but because Jacob deGrom came back right in the middle, right on the day of the trade deadline, and they didn't even have to trade away anybody to get him back. But he will probably leave after this year. So why not bring in Juan Soto when your window to win is right now? You have the biggest chance since 1986 to win the World Series right now. With Lindor, with Scherzer, with DeGrom coming back, with Diaz, with Alonso, with McNeil, Guillorme, now Ross, now Vogelbach, now Naquin, now all these good players. This is your biggest chance to win since the last time you've won. So why do they not go for Juan Soto? Juan Soto would have almost secured them winning a World Series this season. It's not gonna. DeGrom's gonna leave after this year, I think, and then you're not gonna have DeGrom. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. They're in first place right now, and they've had DeGrom pitch for one game, a game that they've lost in. And speaking of which, how do you lose to the Nationals? How in the world? Actually, I think the Dodgers lost twice to the Nationals. Never mind. So then a team with maybe the third biggest trade deadline, the New York Yankees. They got Harrison Bader. They got some good reliever. And they got one more really good person. I forget who. They did get one more. Wait, who was it again? They got... Wait, who did the Yankees get? They got... And the Yankees got rid of Gallo and got one more big person. I forget who his name is. But either way, getting rid of Gallo might be the best thing they've done. Of course, he goes to the Dodgers, which is not good because with Dave Roberts as our manager, that is not going to be good. He's going to pull him in like Game 7 of the World Series against the best strikeout pitcher in the game, and then he's going to strike out again. I mean, he's horrible. He literally cannot hit a baseball to save his life. And they did get one other good person. I forget who it was. Was it a starting pitcher? No, it was a bullpen guy. No. Either way, they got one more good person. So, another team that made a big splash this trade deadline was the Atlanta Braves, acquiring Robbie Grossman, who's probably got a platoon with Eddie Rosario, and they acquired Jake Odorizzi. Now, that was a really good trade, I think. With Jake Odorizzi and the Astros, they gave up Will Smith. The Astros need bullpen help. For Odorizzi, a really good starting pitcher, and the Braves need starting pitching help. So I think that trade, like they both got like really good ends of the deal, just like I think the Padres trade did too, and the Dodgers trade last year. So next is the Minnesota Twins, who got Tyler Mahle, and wait, they got Mahle and somebody else. I think they got Mahle. Mahle might be it, actually. Yeah, so Tyler Mahle is going to do way better, especially considering that he is no longer in the Red Stadium, because the Red Stadium is super small and there's a lot of home runs hit there. So Mahle will get out of there, probably do way better. Now the Dodgers got Joey Gallo and about nobody else, so that was a horrible trade deadline. Then who else? Oh, the Boston Red Sox had a very confusing trade deadline. You see, they bought up Eric Hosmer and Tommy Pham, but then gave away Vasquez and Jake Diekman, which makes no sense. Are they buyers or are they sellers? And apparently they're doing both now, which makes absolutely no sense. Why do you get Hosmer when you have almost no chance in winning the World Series this year? Makes absolutely no sense, that deal. And then the Orioles traded Trey Mancini and Jorge Lopez away. What on earth are they doing? They have a chance this year. They finally are above 500 for the first time in what feels like a decade. They have been under 500 for so long, and they finally are over 500 just to trade away Trey Mancini and their closer. What on earth are they doing? Makes no sense whatsoever. That might be the dumbest move of the trade deadline. The Astros, on the other hand, did really good acquiring Mancini, Will Smith, and they acquired, who else did they acquire? Vasquez as a backup catcher. So now they might be able to not make Martin Maldonado hit, which would be big for the Astros. And I don't think there was many other big deals besides, of course, the Phillies, who actually pretty much just took the whole Angels team, getting Brandon Marsh, Noah Syndergaard. Oh, and actually the Braves got Raisel Iglesias. So the Braves came up with the most genius move of all time. That is the most genius move. Replacing Will Smith with Raisel Iglesias while acquiring Jake Odorizzi. That is an insanely smart move by the Braves, because I think they only gave a few prospects up for Raisel Iglesias. So you're almost switching out Will Smith with the better right-handed version of himself. And then on top of that, you are getting a Jake Odorizzi just handed to you. That might be the smartest move. Other moves were big and did a lot, but that might have been the smarter move, where they just gradually get another player and just get another player to act that they gave away, that they did a fair, two fair trades, but really they're getting 2 for 1 almost, which is a really smart move. Now the Padres, of course, AJ Preller would have been the only person to get Juan Soto. He's the only person, AJ Preller, the Padres general manager, to give up 4 first-round picks. He's the only person that would do that for Juan Soto and Josh Bell, which means the Padres really have a 2.5-year window to win a World Series. They have this year, they have next year, and then they have the year after that. After that, Juan Soto will be gone, unless they sign him to a crazy extension, but they probably won't, considering Soto turned down $400 million, almost $500,000 with the Nationals. But I think half of the reason Juan Soto turned down that crazy deal is because they were a horrible team. So I think if a team that had a chance to win for the next few years, many years, Juan Soto might sign an extension. But then once Soto leaves, Manny's also going to be gone. And then most of your team is going to be gone. So the Padres have 2.5 years to win a World Series, and if not, they traded for Soto for absolutely nothing. But the Nationals, on the other hand, they are bringing up a good young core group of minor leaguers, and they have a big shot at maybe in the next 2, 3 to 4 years, they could be a very good team. Next, was there any big trades besides that? The White Sox surprisingly didn't deal for many people. The Cubs, who might have had the most confusing trade deadline, even though there was head scratchers from teams like the Orioles, the Giants, and many others. The Cubs, the White Sox, the Cubs did not trade away Wilson Contreras, did not trade away Ian Happ. Ian Happ or Wilson Contreras at least. This is his last year as a Cub. You have no shot, absolutely no chance at winning the World Series this year. None. No chance whatsoever of winning a World Series or even making the playoffs. So why do you keep Wilson Contreras when you could get very good minor leaguers? The Mets should have made a trade with the Cubs for Wilson Contreras. I mean, it's not like he went anywhere else, but you got to make a better effort to get Contreras. Your catcher production has been horrible this year. Then there was and why do you not trade Ian Happ? He's going to have far less value next year, especially if he was struggling. There was teams buying into Ian Happ. Why they didn't trade him makes no sense. They had the most confusing trade deadline of them all. And the Giants, why did they not trade Carlos Rodon? He was open. They didn't have many good people left. Oh, yes. So the other person that the Yankees got was Frankie Montas and Louis Trevino. Montas is one of the best starting pitchers in the game, one of the most underrated. Him and Pablo Lopez are some of the most underrated players in the game. So the next big trade to happen was the Mariners acquiring Luis Castillo. That is huge! Mind-boggling! Luis Castillo going to the Seattle Mariners? That can change the whole season! The Mariners now can make the playoffs and compete for a world championship anchored down with their starting pitcher by Castillo, by Robbie Ray, the former Cy Young Award winner. I mean, I gotta say, the last two teams to sign a Cy Young Award winner, it did not really go well for them. The Dodgers signing Bauer, and now the Mariners signing Robbie Ray, who has not been great this year. So, a great trade deadline for the Mariners. And remember, they also acquired two Cincinnati Reds earlier in the season, Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker. So they are having good talks with the Reds and getting a lot better. The Tigers traded away Robbie Grossman. I mean, that kind of does make sense because they don't have a big chance at winning. So, that was about it for the Tigers. The Indians, I don't really think they did much, which is confusing because they have a chance to win the division. So if they do a smart move or something like the Braves did, or get a halfway decent player, or get somebody like the Mets maybe, or something like that, they might have a chance at the division, but now they're just not putting themselves in much of a chance when the Twins actually went out there and made a move or two to get better. I don't think there's many other teams to there was not many other big trades. There might have been smaller trades that nobody really cares about, but that's about it. So, see ya!